Make some noise for Dylan Balsamo.
Hello. Nice to meet you. Hi. Nice to meet you all. St. Patrick's. Yeah. St. Patrick's Day. So we've got any fellow Irish Americans in the crowd? Yeah? Really? Not that many. Wow. I was actually raised Italian, but I no longer practice. I do like being Irish American. I was in the motherland very recently. I went to Ireland a few months ago. It was very exciting. It was my first time really traveling, which was strange. I had been on vacation. I'd been to the Dominican Republic, but that's not really traveling. You're not seeing the world. You're just partying on someone else's beach. That's not what traveling is. It's not really traveling if you're Google translating your way through an all-inclusive resort. That's not... If you're in the Dominican Republic and you look like me, you're there for one of two reasons. One, you're trying Molly for the first time. Two, your name is Jebediah and you're going to spread manifest destiny. You know what I mean? You're like a Mormon missionary. Come on, boys! I really loved Ireland. Ireland was as beautiful as you dream it would be. We land in Dublin on a Sunday morning. It's kind of raining out. And you see these buildings that are 400, 500 years old. But then you also see these new age buildings that look like they were built yesterday. And then you see this industrial side of town, very blue collar. And there's this upper echelon of the town that's a little more upper class. And there's this huge river in the middle of the city. And there's this big bridge that connects the two sides of it. And I thought, oh my goodness, I flew across the ocean for Pittsburgh. That's just Pittsburgh. And I like Pittsburgh, but we have Pittsburgh at home. I didn't need to fly. I didn't need to take a red eye and then fight with Judy over stale pretzels and elbow space for Pittsburgh. It'd be like if you were a good person your whole life and you were waiting for your eternal reward, and then you got to heaven and it was Pittsburgh. That's why they say almost heaven, West Virginia, because it's almost Pittsburgh. Heaven is right up the I-70. Where my map fans at? That joke was for you. Is Americo Vespucci in the crowd? I'm here. I like the joke. I really enjoyed Ireland. A lot of stuff happened while we were there. They actually elected the new prime minister while me and my friend were in Ireland, which was very exciting. I didn't see it on the news or anything. I only knew because... there was white smoke coming out of the top of the Guinness factory, and that's how I knew they'd elected a new prime minister. I like how they do things there. But Ireland was everything I had ever dreamed of, and my biggest dream while I was there was that I would meet some old relic, like you would read about in a book or something. I'd go to a bar and I'd sit there and I'd drink my Guinness from the tap, which is like making out with God. And then I would turn to my right and I would see some guy from Killarney or Killybegs that's in his 60s, and he'd tell me 1,000 stories, and then I'd go home and write a book about it. That was my fantasy about Ireland. And every single time I did this, I kid you not, every single time I'd turn to my right, it was just some guy from Chicago. Every single time. I'd be like, so how long you been in Galway? He'd be like, well, about 4 or 5 days. And I'm like, the fuck out of here, man. I came here to get away from you. We talk a lot about immigration in this country. Can we get the Chicagoans out of Ireland? What are they doing there? They're not Irish. When Chicago sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime. And some, I assume, speak Italian or something. I don't know. Anyone see that Diddy documentary from a few months ago? Speaking of sex criminals. Everyone see the Diddy documentary? Did you see the Diddy documentary? Yeah, so do you think he did it? Yeah? They should have called that documentary Diddy Do It. It would have been a beautiful... I would have watched it then. No, but I was fascinated by this documentary just thinking about how from 98 to 02, Diddy owned New York City. It was his city. Do you think there was a Diddy party scheduled for 9/11 that they had to reschedule? It's not out of the question. They would have had to be like, guys, we can't do this tonight, right? I mean, we're not monsters. Is it too soon for that joke? Is it too soon for that joke? Right, it's I've been thinking a lot about when it's too soon for things, like celebrity deaths. I was talking to someone about George Michael the other day, and they went, oh, he died. And it was sad when George Michael died, but it was also 10 years ago. How long do we have to keep doing that? If you went to a museum and you saw a portrait of George Washington, and they were like, he died. You go to church, they start talking about Jesus. He died. That's it for me. Thank you very much, everybody.